As soon as I see 65, there we go.
Here we go.
Max definitely wears shorts in the winter. Bro.
You think so? You'll wear shorts
in the house, yeah, not outside.
Oh, you a wild boy. I don't even do that in the house.
In the house, I'm in boxes all day.
Shorts in the house?
Yeah.
Nah,
that's all day,
baby.
Chancleta.
Just in case I gotta run outside, bro. I'm already prepared. Bro.
Queensbridge.
I'll run out with shorts. Yeah.
I run in Queensbridge.
It's rated.
Yeah, when you're running for your life.
I just go run laps around Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that shit like that. Yeah,
that's where I get my workout on.
Yeah,
Listening to Jay-Z on a Bluetooth speaker, so everybody else can hear me too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel.
What do you think about the song "You Don't Want It" on the album?
I like this whole album, bro.
Yeah, it's classic, bro.
Shout out to Cormega.
All day. Are we recording already?
Yeah, man.
Classic album, The Realness.
All day, man.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's like definitely classic.
All right,
definitely.
that's one thing.
Mics.
Quick. No, real quick. Before we go to the mics, though. Is it a classic album?
Yes. Hell yeah.
Like, you know how we always talk about how this guy always says he's top 5 Dead or Alive Jada, right? But he doesn't have a classic album, right?
Correct.
I don't think he's top 5 Dead or Alive no matter what.
Okay, that's my thing. So Mega got a classic. He
got two to me.
Two.
He got
the
two.
first two.
Yeah. That is true meaning. I think he's got two.
So go ahead, Mike. We'll start with you.
What, with the realness?
With this
You already know. For me, it's 5.
5?
That's easy. It's a perfect album. It's flawless. There's nothing whack about the album, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's really nothing whack about it.
I'm not far from there. Yeah. I'd give it like 4.5. Potentially.
Yeah, that's the same shit.
I was gonna go with a 4, but yeah.
4.
I would have to re-listen to it with the analytical brain, but it's definitely close to 4.5.
That's Queensbridge album.
I can't think of like a skip or like of
at all.
It's a superior album by far.
Yeah, I know why he gives it 4.
Why?
Because of the song "Thun and Kicko." Because it's this and Nas. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
but salute to them for making up and doing what they got to do.
Queensbridge all day.
Respect for that, man. You gotta do that.
That's what this album's about. Queensbridge.
That's what this episode is about. Yes.
Yeah, not this episode.
Before we move on, though, shit.
What else you got? Come on.
The Realness or the True Meaning?
I pick Realness.
Yeah,
I pick Realness. Yeah. True Meaning was fire though. Oh
yeah,
my god,
yeah.
It's a great follow up. Like it's like shit.
See, that's the thing with Mega Man. He damn near got 3 classics.
Mega Man?
Yeah, I think the Testament you could throw up there too. Yeah.
The Testament, was that the third one?
Testament was supposed to be his first real album ever.
Album.
Yeah.
Yes,
so it came out, later, but I already heard the whole album
like 10 years
before
later.
The Realness. I already heard the whole
10,
album. You know what I'm saying?
Almost damn near 15.
But he's got other albums too, like Mega Philosophy, Born and Raised. These
Legal
albums,
Hustle.
I'm not saying they're classics, but they're fucking.
Yeah.
They're up the classics ass, like, you know what I'm saying?
Plus
all
his crazy features throughout the years.
And
you can see his growth.
And his this.
You can see the growth though he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like over the years, you know, like you listen to his first albums, it was like real like gritty, street hardcore shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear the True Meaning. He advanced a little bit on that, got a little more.
When did the Realness drop?
The Realness dropped 2000, I think, or 2001, something like that.
Because it's almost like he missed that little 90s golden age gap window where he was locked up during that time.
Because what he did was the Testament during that time. And you hear the Testament, that shit is all body, the album. It's all whole body. That. Like, you know what I mean?
So it felt like when the Realness dropped, it was like just a little late to that big. When that was the sound.
I feel what you're saying.
Like when Boot Camp was the sound and all that was on radio and shit. Like,
yeah, we're going back to like 95 and shit. Yeah,
from like 95 to 98.
Real quick, what was one of your favorite features of his? Because he always killed.
A song that he was on?
Yeah. We'll say within the last... I got one within the last at least maybe 15 years. 10, 15 years.
The verse he did for Flea Lord.
What album?
Oh, shit. Was it the Havoc album?
Shout out to Flea Lord. And while he looks that up, welcome to a special segment of the Gahhdcast as we're here... with your host, the brother Burnz, to the left of me, the brother VS.
VS to the OP, you know what it be, man. We in here repping that LBE all day.
And the broski MaxLo, the hip-hop trucker.
Peace. What's going on, everybody?
He's looking up some data. We're here today to discuss...
Pray for the Evil 3. That was Flea Lord's album.
Yeah.
With Me Fucks. That was the dude, I guess, that produced the album, Me Fucks.
Yeah.
Pray for the Evil?
Yeah. Pray for the Evil 3.
Yeah.
And Cormega's verse on that shit, the name of the track is called Paying Homage. He fucking destroyed that shit. That, I'm going to say, is probably my favorite feature he's done in the last 15 years.
That makes sense that he's on a song called Paying Homage, because I feel like he's always...
Yeah, he's always on that Paying Homage type shit. Yeah.
He always shows the respect and the love, man. Like, you know what I mean? Salute to you, Mega.
What verse were you going to say?
His guest on the Lulu album.
Conway.
Oh.
Yeah, with the Alchemist joint. That was a dope one, too. I ain't going to lie.
That's my favorite.
That was another one, too.
Griselda album.
Yeah.
Lulu. Yeah.
Really?
I love that album.
That's a great album. That's a great album.
I mean, I don't know if I put it over Black Tape and shit like that. You know what I mean? Or Gold. Like, I don't know.
Like,
well, I haven't heard many Griselda albums.
Oh, okay.
No. But to me, like, you listen to the song Calvin and the way fucking Conway glides over that fucking Alchemist
That's
beat.
the one that he's like...
Yeah.
He's a beat writer, bro.
Yo,
he's a writer. Any beat you give him, he just writes it. He's like, he has that Biggie, the Biggie, any beat you gave him, he just wrote, bro. That's what he has, that gift that he could just write any beat you give him, bro.
True indeed.
I give it to
Shout
him.
out to that. Shout out to him.
Salute
Shout
to
out to...
Shout out to Mega.
I mean,
Mega, of course, the legend.
One of the illest to me.
I feel like...
The realest. The illest.
Did we meet Mega? I feel like I met Mega somewhere.
Man, I met him 3 times in 3 different places.
Yeah.
Rocksteady shit, some other show. I went to a show with him in Long Island.
I feel like I met him somewhere.
Good brother, man.
But shout out to Mega. Shout out to who were we just talking about? Conway and the Lulu album. Shout out to Alchemist.
Yeah. Alchemist.
Shout out to West Side Gun. He just dropped
Genius.
the Egypt remix featuring Doshi. I'm surprised you haven't heard that. That's fire.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
She ripped it.
So much shit going on.
She was
He
alright.
also,
she got a little shit off. She alright.
She mimicked West Side.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was.
Get out of
She
here.
spit a West Side Gun verse.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Better than him.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nah, he
I gotta
kind
listen
of.
to it.
Is that I like
No. But he kind of ripped it though. If
I'm
you
a
listen
fan
to
of
it,
her. No, he actually did.
He kind of ripped it though, so you can't
actually
front,
did,
yo.
yeah.
I mean, all his shenanigans aside, like he
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
fucking ripped it.
he
You know what I
did,
mean?
yeah.
And I fuck with Westside. Trust me, I'm a big fan, yo. Like you know.
I was on YouTube the other day and I see some shit like on the recommended tab. Heels Have Eyes 4. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Heels? Like heels?
Heels.
Like the movie, they just switched it to that. Yeah, I got you. All right.
And I'm like, what is this? You know? This is it looks bugged out. And it says wrestling. I'm like, this is wrestling? Heels Have Eyes? What is this?
Was it a West Side
I put it on. It's West Side
Get
Gun.
out of here.
His
Look at
like
that.
wrestling show. I was like, oh
Yeah, they big into that shit
Nice,
too. Yeah.
nice.
That shit was aight, yo. That shit was aight. I think I might like him more as like the wrestling promoter than as the rapper.
Yeah. Speaking of
But shout
multimedia
out
and
to that,
shit,
yeah.
we should get into the Mass Appeal shit.
No. We're gonna save that for a separate segment.
Oh, okay.
What we are gonna get into, first of all, shout out to everybody who tuned in, watched, and commented, and debated and fucked with the Wu-Tang Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
A lot of people had different thoughts and beliefs of who should be up there, who shouldn't be up there.
Who do you think was
Ray
the
and Ghost was the most
I was gonna
should have
say,
been up there.
I can see that though. Yeah, I can see that. But
Because like Burnz said on that episode, Ray, everybody automatically assumes because of the purple tape he belongs up there.
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons, really. You know what I mean? But this guy got to me is pretty slept on. Like a lot of people talk shit about Immobilarity, bro. His second album, to me, the album is great.
I went
bro.
back and listened to that album.
It was ahead of its time, I think. That shit was greatness to me.
You know what it was? Is that it
was just you following purple tape.
Exactly. It
Without
was
a doubt.
comparing to
That's what it was.
And
nothing would have measured.
That I think it was that,
That's
and
the problem.
also the sound of the album wasn't like the RZA at all.
Yeah, no, it wasn't all RZA and shit. Yeah, P-Rock shit.
It was minimal RZA, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
it was hardly any RZA. Hardly any RZA. You know what I'm saying? But still, it was a fire album.
Way different. So
it's not a bad album.
To me, it was
it's not as bad as we thought it was.
Then.
But I never thought
like,
when I first bought it. I still got the tape at the crib. When I bought this shit, I was still doing tapes in the whip and shit. And I was like, "Yo, this shit is fire!" Like to me, it was.
It's like MaxLo said. It was ahead of his time.
Yeah. I think you like it more as the years
comparing it to his first shit is like
you can't compare shit to everybody's magnum opus. You can't. Exactly. You know, if you're expecting that, you're not gonna get it. You know, it's very hard to get that. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Is there anybody that has done that?
Yes.
I know we're going a little off.
I can tell you right
somebody
now.
that like Nas, for instance, he had Illmatic.
A lot of people say Room was better though.
Yeah.
But you know why I feel they say
mean.
that? They say that because I feel like that's when they got more in tune with him because he had the more commercial tracks and shit.
Yeah,
and they got more in tune with more different parts of the country, the world and shit. So I get it. But it ain't better than fucking Illmatic.
That's what I mean.
But it's a really good album.
It's a good follow-up. Is one of the best follow-ups of all time. Sophomore releases, I mean,
who can follow up? What's the question? Who followed up a
who's another artist? Like I said, besides Nas, because obviously Nas got that.
Shit, I'll say.
Who's another artist that has like it doesn't have to be your first project, but a magnum opus, like you come out with something phenomenal and then you follow it up with another phenomenal.
You know
project.
me, Infamous. I think Hell on Earth is better.
Pun.
I think Hell on Earth is better than Infamous. I think it's a better album all around. The lyrics, production-wise, everything is a better album.
Right.
Now, Infamous is what fucking
uppercutted
the world with them. So yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Stuck off the realness,
bro.
But some people would say Murder Music is better than both.
I've heard people say that too.
Right,
Murder Music is better than both, and I'm like, look, to me, Hell on Earth, Infamous, and then Murder Music, they're really fucking close to each other, bro. That's how good those 3 album run is.
Right.
It's insane that album run.
I said pun, but I didn't mean to say pun. I meant to say Biggie.
You like Life After Death. Biggie. I've heard people say that too. I like Ready to Die more. I think that's his that's it. Like you ain't topping that.
Yeah,
I like Life After Death more.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of people say the same thing to me, man. That I
Life After Death.
And
the thing is,
I would say Hove too.
No, what better than Reasonable Doubt? I don't think he has any album better than that. Really?
I'm just saying, like, you have to come out with 2 in a row, like, what I'm talking about. Not just 2 in your whole catalog.
2. You mean 1? This is your magnum opus, and you come out the next one better?
Follow it up with another one.
Yeah, so Volume 1 ain't better than
Hove, Big, maybe.
Right.
Mob, for sure. They've got like 3.
Yeah.
Nas.
Yeah.
He's another one. Yeah, I get it. I mean...
Tribe.
Yeah, Low End Theory and Midnight.
That's a definite to me. That's a definite. Low End Theory is definitely better than the first
Low End and Midnight.
And Midnight Marauders. You don't know which one's better sometimes.
But those 2, imagine you drop, like, fucking, to me, like, I prefer Midnight. So, after hearing fucking Low End Theory and then you hit Midnight, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck?
It's hard. Sometimes you get confused, like, damn, I think I like this one better today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's tough.
I usually say Low End Theory, but there's been days I'm like,
How about Dre? How about Dre with The Chronic and 2001?
Chronic to me always. I think that's it. He ain't never gonna come out nothing like that.
But 2001 was
2001 is fire though. Fire.
I feel like
I think the beats on there
is overrated.
Were fucking nuts.
No, but everything on that album.
No, I love the beats and everything.
Not just the beats though, my brother. Like everything
on that album.
You know what it is?
2001.
Yeah. More so than
the Chronic.
Yeah,
bro.
What, better beats?
Better everything.
Better songs.
I don't know.
Better
I feel
songs,
like the Chronic got a couple skips on it.
You know what it is for me? Maybe the nostalgic feel I have with the Chronic.
Right.
I think because that shit came out like 9 years later or 7 years later and shit. That's a big gap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was still fire. 2001. That's a big gap though. Like, you know, I kind of like forgot about Dre already. Like, you know what I mean? And then boom,
forgot about
Dre. Oh
Dre.
shit! Look at that. Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. I'm nice like that.
He wrote that.
We went off on a tangent.
To go real quick into R&B land, Mary J. Blige did it with her first 2 or 3 albums also.
True indeed.
Yes.
What's the 411?
What's the 411?
That's my shit.
My Life and Share My World. It's like Mobb Deep. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
True indeed.
But shout out to that. Another person who got a lot of love on the Woo Mount Rushmore was Deck.
I said that.
He has some of the best opening verses. Like
I've said that in all of hip hop, not even just Woo, just all of hip hop.
But that wasn't enough to make them unanimous, right? So our thing is we have to all be unanimous.
Yeah, he doesn't have that solo that puts him up there like fucking. You know what I mean?
His consistency fell off.
Now, if his solo would have came out before when that flood happened, I guarantee that motherfucker would have been up there.
Yes. Shout out to that. Shout out to MaxLo. On the last episode, we were asking if Tragedy ever came out on an album, and you said, we got to ask Max Low.
Rhyme and Reason.
He knew soundtrack.
I had the tape at the crib. Yeah.
Shout out to that. Shout out to RZA and Tragedy.
Shout out to Hoffa for bringing that verse up. That was a fire fucking word. One of my favorite RZA verses ever. Ahead of his time, bro. Ahead of his time. Talking about vaccinations and shit. Like, come on, dog.
And I'll always say one of my favorite videos, bro, ever made.
Yeah, with the samurai and
karate movie
shit.
Y'all ever saw the Iron Fist, his movie?
Yeah.
RZA's karate movie?
Yes.
Actually, he did part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. That shit's crazy,
pretty dope.
bro.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out to the RZA, man. He's a fucking genius.
Goat status. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the hip hop goats. Like, he's a hip hop pillar.
To me, he's the best MC/producer of all time. There's nobody better than him, at all.
He's my favorite Wu-Tang rapper.
I have no argument on that. He literally gets on some deep shit that makes you like,
he's like, what the fuck? Out, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's ill. I can't argue that. Yeah, he's one of the illest. To me, it's Jizza, because Jizza just always taking you on the ride too. You know what I mean? Deck too, but if anything, RZA would probably be
RZA's
second,
like the
third, like right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
RZA, it's just the fact that he was, first of all, his ill mind, like y'all just said, whether it be production or writing and shit. But then the fact that he was able to just get a bunch of dope MCs together and and do what he did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
What he did was massive. Even the way he did to give them their own deals and shit.
Yeah, like, to foresee the whole thing and to then put it into action and like for it to come to fruition, like it was amazing. Yo. That's why I say to me,
he should be the first person in the.
He should be like a hip hop pillar. You know what I'm saying? Like you have, you know, you obviously have what's the name, Kool Herc and them, and obviously Rakim and them. He's got to be up there, bro. Because he not only
he changed the game.
That's what I said too. That's what I always say. My thing is always, when you come in the game, like, when you leave, did you change the game? Did you make it better?
He came in as a boss. Yeah. He didn't come in, you know, like taking what they're giving, and he's like, nah, I came in. He was like, we're a group, but I want all their separate deals, and like, bro, that's genius.
He figured it all out. He figured it out way before.
Came in as a genius, yo. RZA, salute to you. I want to beat from my album, yo. Fuck that, please.
I thought he said I want a beat from my album.
No, beat.
How about that beat that he made on that?
He knows karate.
You ever seen that video?
Which one?
That beat that he made on that horrible ass drum machine. You never seen that video?
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe, but
yo, it's terrible. Everybody's killing him.
Yeah. I bet you that shit was still.
Everybody has some bad days, but what happens? Even the best have bad verses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to RZA.
Shout out to RZA.
So that conversation again. Shout out to anybody who tuned in, shared, commented, supported, debated, so on and so forth. ODB got a lot of love too.
ODB, no, come on, bro.
So that conversation inspired this conversation because the Mount Rushmore trend has continued, but there's been another area or not a borough, right? Like just a hip hop landmark. I would say.
Legendary place that a lot of classic MCs come out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
I dedicated a day for them.
Queensbridge, aka QB.
The word is born.
So we're here today to create the Queensbridge Mount Rushmore. Now the only rule is, again, it has to be unanimous. We all have to agree that this person belongs on the list.
Okay.
I have 5 names written down, and I think 3 we'll all agree on, and then the other 2 we'll probably argue on.
Okay,
let's do it. Let's argue.
We were just talking about the RZA being a pioneer producer, and a former of talent and talented individual. The first person I'm a nominate, I guess I would say, is the RZA of Queensbridge, bro.
I know who you're gonna say.
Marley Marl.
He was on my list.
You cannot. You gotta put
that's
on
that seems like it's a unanimous.
Yeah, I figured that was an easy as unanimous.
Definite.
I think the first 3.
But the thing is, because he's never rhymed though.
No, but still.
What about?
Yeah, but
could we just do it just producer?
It's just Queensbridge.
No. All right. So just Queensbridge, no matter what.
Yeah.
What you did for the hood and shit.
The fact that he created a whole sound.
Yeah. He did mad albums back
and engineered a whole sound. It was just, and he, to me, it sucks because, like, we just talked about the RZA. Obviously, everybody talks about Primo, Dre. You know what I'm saying? All those great producers. Not that he hardly comes up, but he doesn't come up enough.
He doesn't at all. Yeah, I mean, the only people that I see bring him up are dudes that were 20 in the 80s and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the only dudes that I see bring him up.
Yeah.
Even me, shit, I forgot about Marley Marl.
To me,
excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm gonna say mostly everything from the 90s because that's like where I was like a kid, a teenager, and that's where everything mattered to me at that point. Like,
and Marley didn't really. And correct me if I'm wrong, maybe y'all know better than me. He didn't really continue into the 90s and 2000s. I mean, he did continue into the 90s a little bit. But he didn't continue, like, let's say a Rick Rubin, right? They both started in the 80s.
Yeah.
But Rick Rubin continued to produce.
Look at Primo. Now. Primo started 88, 89, and then he's still doing shit. So, so that's why. It's
Marley, I feel like.
He died out quick for that, for the beast, but he had.
And also because he was from the 80s.
Because you got to remember, he was still doing work with CNN and them, you know what I mean? And that was in the
he did a couple 90s.
Well, that's what I mean. But after that.
You know what I'm saying?
The reason I say that to say the reason he's often overlooked is because he's not at the forefront of people's memories because he hasn't done anything. I think the last shit he did, and again, I'm probably wrong, was Queensbridge the album.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was a minute ago.
Like
that might have been
2002,
like some shit. Yeah. So that's probably
so
the reason he gets overlooked.
Because he didn't keep it you know, that
the consistency
and like the longevity of it. You know what I mean?
But he made the fucking bridge.
Yeah,
bro.
Like, yo,
he made the bridge. He made Mama Said Knock You Out. He made a bunch
Oh
of...
no, you know what he made that I love?
Tragedy's first shit, Intelligent Hoodlum.
I'm saying,
like, come
one
on,
of your favorite hit. One of your favorite.
He produced a whole Intelligent Hoodlum joint.
That's
bro.
what I mean. That's what I mean. So like,
come on, dog.
he literally engineered a whole
Did he do
sound.
Paid in Full?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
He
Paid in
produced
Full.
Paid in Full?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
if I'm not
I know he
mistaken.
did.
Because Rakim went over to his house with the records he wanted to sample.
He's done classics.
And what's the name? And Marley hooked it up. You know what I'm saying?
Has he ever produced from Mobb Deep?
That I'm not. I don't think so, to be honest. But I
maybe on that
could be wrong.
Maybe on that QB album.
That's what I'm saying. But it wasn't for them. That was
QB.
more for like Lakey the Kid and Nas and shit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't really for Mob.
But still, Marley is way overlooked in my opinion. Not mentioned.
I definitely agree with you on that.
In my opinion, he's a true legend, man.
And still alive, bro. God bless him.
Because not only that, like his sound is
I wish he was still doing beats.
His sound is still not relevant, but I want to say it still exists today.
Yeah.
Like there's still
I can still listen to the symphony right now and be like,
but what I'm
Intelligent
saying
Hoodlum
is,
and be like,
all right, like you hear the symphony,
you know what I mean?
you
Like,
hear that beat, that sound, that brand of hip hop is still being made today.
Of course.
To this day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
of
saying?
course,
So
that's
like,
that
it
sound,
carries
man.
on. So shouts to him, one of the GOAT
And
producers.
without a doubt.
how many people have sampled a Marley beat
Exactly.
to make
To make their own
beat,
shit.
you know?
Yeah.
So Marley Marl definitely makes
Unanimous.
it.
Yeah,
Unanimous.
100%.
Number one. Shout out to the legendary producer,
100%.
Big
Marley
salute,
Marl.
Marley Marl.
Yeah.
You go ahead, VS.
Mine is gonna be
I feel
obvious.
like I know this one.
This one's gonna be obvious.
I'm gonna go to and say Nas, maybe.
He's a little obvious, but I mean, come on, how can you not put him on there?
Of course, he's
to
me, he's a number one pick. To be honest, yeah.
If Marley is George Washington, this guy is Thomas Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? The great mind of it all. You know what I mean? Like the great philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Number two on my list.
You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about the great GOAT.
He is the
Nasir
GOAT.
Jones.
Nasir
Uludara Jones.
He is
You
the
know what I'm
GOAT.
saying?
Can't, that's
He's the most certified GOAT. I think.
unless Max disagrees. That's easy unanimous.
He was my number one, to be honest.
Yeah,
okay.
He was my number one.
Like I said, if Marley is the sound, then he is the mind of it. You know what I'm saying? He's the brain.
He's a product of what Marley was.
Voice,
you know what I mean?
voice of it
but
all. You know what
the
I'm
guy
saying?
that I'm gonna mention, Nas is also a product of him.
Yes.
So you
Nasty
said Marley, I
Nas, the
said
legend.
Nasir Jones.
So again, I think the first three are easy, and then the last one we're gonna do.
Y'all know me. You know who I'm gonna say, because Nas was my number one.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Tragedy Khadafi, brother.
All right.
He's got a long discog.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he's got about 3 classics. That's just me. I'm not saying y'all. You know what I mean? But to me. And first album, Intelligent Hoodlum.
Mm-hmm.
He was on that shit. Like, Nas's Illmatic, to me, is kind of like, I don't want to say like a copy or anything, because it's not. But I feel like Nas studied that album and then came out with Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. The only shit is he used different producers. That's it.
And don't you think it's a little updated and just better?
The what, Illmatic? It is. Yo, bro, it's my GOAT album. That's my favorite album of all time.
Nah, but
you can't front on that album.
In all fairness, one of my first favorite songs in hip hop was
Great Groove.
No, was on that album. Was Return of the Life.
The original joint. Yeah.
That was my shit. That took the Minnie Riperton sample.
Yeah,
and shit. Yo,
my shit was Arrest the President. Like
that was my shit.
I remember Tragedy Khadafi having a classic song that has an ill ass beat, but I never.
True Confessions.
That's
one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he came out with Intelligent Hoodlum when he was like 18 or 16 when he was recording. Like, I got tracks of him before that. The Rebel. When he was like 15, with Marley Marl producing it, he's telling Khadafi to come in and fucking spit a verse. He's like 15 years old, fucking spitting ill shit. You know what I mean?
That's like one of
America's
your top
Eating the
favorite
Young.
rappers, right?
He's like America's Eating the Young at like 15, 16, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Still valid.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then he comes out with Intelligent Hoodlum. Then he comes out with Tragedy. You know what I mean? And then he comes out with fucking Thug Matrix 4118, which is one of my favorite joints in. Thug Matrix.
What year was that?
2001 or 2000, something like that.
Okay, is he still making albums?
Of course, he just dropped an EP this year. I think in the beginning of the year or the late last year, I forget. But he's still doing music. And that's what I'm saying. This guy's been out since like fucking 87, 86, and he's still dropping albums today.
I got a question.
You gotta give him that.
I got a question because you compare him a lot to Nas. Why?
I compare Nas to him.
He was first.
Yeah, because Khadafi was first.
Okay, fine. why do you think is it that he's not at that level then?
I think he got blackballed a little bit.
You think so?
I think so. And he lived what he talked about too. A lot. Like, he was in the streets and he was doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Nas. I don't know Nas personally, but I'm not saying, he didn't live it or nothing. I just feel like Khadafi was really in there. Right. Doing shit. Like, remember, you know what I mean?
Nas,
so
met Steve Stout, bro. That changed his life.
También. That's another one too. Khadafi never met nobody.
Really,
when he was coming out doing that shit, that was all just
I'm saying though, but don't you think, like, maybe he had the opportunity and just didn't take it?
Probably. He was probably like, yo, fuck you. Like, that's the kind of person he is,
like
which I respect.
You're not unanimous on Khadafi.
I'm
just saying.
I'm not unanimous on him.
Yeah, like
2-1.
But hold him, like, put him on hold.
Yeah, exactly. We're not done yet.
We're not done. He might fill the third or fourth.
We're already 2 slots in. We still got 2 more.
Because he's definitely gonna beat my last suggestion. Y'all just gonna laugh, but I laugh at it.
Okay, so you.
But before I get to that, the third person I thought that would be unanimous, and y'all let me know if it is or not.
It is. I know who you're gonna say, and it is. I know 100% who it is.
Lakey the Kid?
No. Nah, not at all.
No?
I like Lakey.
Shout out to Lakey, though. Yeah. Nah, it's Prodigy, bro.
Yeah.
But he's from Hempstead, Long Island.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't want to mention it.
Fair, so does that eliminate him?
It's you know what sucks here? Because he be repping the British shit, so to me it's like, when you're a Prodigy, you think of Queensbridge. It's like, fuck, but he's not. He's from Hempstead, bro.
Yeah. So does that eliminate him?
I think, for argument's sake, let's just eliminate him for this one.
Okay.
Because he is originally from Hempstead. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, Prodigy's not on the queue.
Prodigy would have been number 2, 3 with me.
Even though he repped Queensbridge.
Without a doubt, but still, you fucking born and raised in Queensbridge.
So, safe to say that we're not unanimous on Prodigy.
Okay, so Prodigy's out of here.
I'm unanimous with that, yes, but he's my top 3 MC of all time.
No, wait. So, we're not unanimous on Prodigy then? Because you say no.
No, I think he's from Hempstead, Long Island, so I don't think he should be involved.
If he's from Hempstead, he's disqualified.
He's disqualified because he's not from Queensbridge. Yeah.
Damn, so then my number 3, or my 3 that I figured were unanimous, I was wrong on Prodigy. Due to his birthplace.
Right. Due to where, exactly, right, where his origin is from, correct.
Dang. All right, so go ahead. You got a next one?
Yeah, I think we need to go with none other than the man who opened up the show, Mega.
Mega's my 4th.
He's up there for me too.
I'd go unanimous, man.
He's definitely,
you know what I'm saying, like
up there. I got him and one guy like this.
To echo MaxLo, you know what I'm saying. He's got the discogs. You know what I'm saying.
Fire discog.
He's got the classics. He's got the classics. He's got the ill. We were talking about features, off air. We were talking about features. Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
Everything he touches, he murders.
Both Nas and Prodigy looked up to Mega.
That was the other thing.
Mega's another one that actually lived the life he talked about in the beginning too.
This is what I was going to say too. This is my thing. He has that respect. You know what I'm saying? He's undeniable in Queensbridge.
The way Prodigy writes about him in his book.
Yeah,
he definitely like.
Mega's like an icon to people.
Yeah. He was like the man, bro.
He was about it.
He didn't play that shit. What?
Are people weak?
What happened? ¿Qué pasa, Frank? Yankees are winning. He mad.
Oh. Shout out the Yankees. Shout out the Mets.
Let's go. Yeah. Subway Series going on.
Shout out to the Mets. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
No shout out.
No, but shout out because we're doing Queens today. So
true. Nah, but he's not Queensbridge.
But LL is not Queensbridge.
He's not Queensbridge.
He's just Queens.
Yeah, he's Queens. We're doing just Queensbridge.
Yeah, we're in the projects, bro.
Yeah, we're some ghetto ass.
Long Island City.
But yeah, for sure. I say Mega, like I said.
I have no argument on that one, brother.
Yeah, so that's a unanimous. So
but the thing is, that's what?
3.
We got 3 spots.
So we still have.
I got one more, yeah.
I'm trying to fucking find my pen.
I got one more, but I don't think it's gonna top Khadafi to me. But I gotta say Havoc, brother. For the production he's done, for the verses he's done with Mob and all that shit, his solo albums and everything, he's a beast. You gotta give him. Yeah. At one point, he was one of the most illest producers at with Mob and shit.
His stretch, he had a RZA-like stretch.
Exactly, and I think RZA's the one who told him, who kind of gave him
the blueprint.
Something like he was like, yo, do this, do your own thing, and Khadafi said it. I mean, my part itself. Havoc said it in the interview and shit that RZA was kind of the one who went in his ear with shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, that's a perfect t-shirt to tell you something. And Havoc went with it. Went with that shit.
And to be fair, I mean, he did go on his little RZA type run. You know what I'm saying? He was just producing nothing.
The Hell on Earth
fucking disgusting bangers.
To me, every beat on that album is fucking menacing. Like straight you want to fucking like
scary movies.
Like, you want to go in on beats, bro. I'm telling you.
To me, Drop a Gem on him is still one of the greatest hip hop.
I say that too. I actually say it's slept on because people don't talk about it too much.
Because people don't know who did
exactly. Yeah. They did two people. They did this Pac on that album, and then they did this Def Squad on the album too. Really, more Keith Murray, but they did Def Squad too on. Man,
and even with that, that's still not my favorite song on that album.
Nah, you know to me it's fucking Apostles Wanted, bro.
That's dope.
It's my favorite verse of Prodigy of all time.
No, the Infamous sounds mad like New York.
Oh, that's a staple of New York sound.
It's a time capsule.
It's a staple.
I wouldn't even say it's the New York winter album.
Ooh, I like that. I can see that. Yeah, right? With the Timbs on. I can see that. I like that.
Cold weather album.
I like that.
That's
definitely like that.
Yes and no, and I'll argue why, because when what was it? It's a cold world. Not it's a cold world. It's shit. Survival of the Fittest. When it came out, my fault.
It was summer.
It was summer.
Yeah, that's okay. But the album gives you
the album is more like, I feel what he's saying. It's like Tim's, fucking Carhartts and shit. Like real New York, what that album is.
90s, yeah.
It's
but Hell on Earth is more like you said, like scary movie. It's not so much New York as it is like just horror.
It's like a horror flick of New York, where they're from. Like that's
like a New York nightmare.
To me, the best way to define that album is menacing. That's it. There's no other way of saying that album, but it's called menacing. Because Prodigy was in his fucking best form right there, and Havoc, my brother. Yeah. Not one bad beat on that album, bro. Like every beat was like.
What do you think of Havoc as a rapper?
I think he's dope too. I think he's very dope. Yeah, not at all. Like if I hear people say, I'd be like, relax.
Yeah.
He's very dope. I mean, he's held his own with Prodigy. He's even had better verses than Prodigy in certain
tracks. I'll tell you like this.
In
my opinion, the album where he took a leap was
Murder Music
from Hell on
Earth to Murder Me. I agree with you on that.
Hell yeah. Well, on Murder Music, he was going nuts. Yeah. He was going crazy on Murder Music.
But still, I'm not going to lie, that Prodigy is like hard to...
What album was the one that he tells the story that he went to see some bitches and he...
That's in Trife Life and then...
Trife Life 2.
Murder Music, he did another one. Hell on Earth was the first one, Trife Life.
Okay.
And then Trife Life 2.
No. On Infamous was the first one. On Hell on Earth was the second one.
I'm sorry, Trife Life. Yeah. But that was my favorite. The one I like more though. The one on
Hell on Earth
was my favorite.
But he ripped it.
He destroyed that shit. It was his only long
solo.
Track. He killed that motherfucker. The story, I felt like I was in it. Like,
he was in it. He killed that.
No, he killed that shit. Salute to Havoc, man. One of the ghosts right there. So producer wise.
Okay. Real quick, shout out to Havoc, who was recently rocking some Timeless Product 1 shades. Shout out to the brother.
Salute to my brother, baby.
Shout out to Timeless Product. Make sure you get your shades. Product.
Yeah, I was gonna wear mine today.
I wore mine the other day for Mother's Day, and my mom tried to steal them. Straight up, no bullshit. I meant to text Sammy. She tried to steal my daughter's bracelet. My daughter was here. Shout out to her. And she tried to steal my glasses.
That's that Virgo shit, baby.
On Mother's Day. And my mom's a Virgo.
But same day as me, September 18th.
Yeah. God bless.
Timeless is funny, man. When he got his shits in, I was like, yo, I need another pair. Get me. And he's like, oh, yo, you man. I was like, I need a pair now.
Yeah. So shout out to Havoc for doing that. So if we add Havoc, we're done.
Yeah, I know. So look at me, and I'm ready to accept Havoc over Khadafi because of like everything he's done with beats and everything.
Yeah.
I still don't think he deserves a fourth spot over Khadafi though, but I can't argue it.
Can we unify Havoc and Prodigy and put Mobb Deep up so we can sneak the ghost of Prodigy?
I have no argument with that one because Prodigy is the fucking man. Can we stick in Khadafi then? That's 4.5 or something. Like, what the fuck then? You know what I mean?
Alright, so forget Prodigy then. But wait, let's hold off on Havoc. Do you have anybody that could beat Havoc?
It's hard, bro.
Let me see.
On the QB, Queensbridge.
We talking about the 4 guys that were on my list.
So y'all would pick Mega over Khadafi then?
I would.
Alright, so there's 2-1. So then, So I have no problem with that.
But I have one more nominee.
Oh my god,
Nori.
He's not from Queensbridge. He's from Left Rack.
Oh, so immediate elimination. Okay. So Havoc wins.
I mean, I can't argue it. I can't argue it, even though Khadafi's my guy. I just can't argue against him, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He does both sides. Like,
yo, fans.
And then Tragedy is honorable.
Make your argument for Tragedy. Help MaxLo.
Help me out, bro. I'm gonna start knocking niggas out, Shan.
Max.
Khadafi should have been.
I fuck with Khadafi.
You're a bitch ass.
So the Queensbridge Mount Rushmore finalized is Marley Marl, the legend. Shout out to him. Nas, the GOAT. Shout out to him. Mega, the street poet, legend, icon.
Exactly what he is, yeah.
Shout out to him. And legendary producer, rapper, and one half of Mobb Deep Havoc.
Tragedy
Shout out
Khadafi.
to him.
Yeah.
And Tragedy Khadafi on the honorable mention.
Yeah, we gotta get.
What's it called? On the photo bomb. He got a photo bomb. The Mount Rushmore.
He's in there.
That's it. In the background, we gotta put him.
Yeah,
Like,
he just
he
pulled
belongs
up.
in it, bro.
Nah,
Yeah, and he gave us CNN.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Dog, that's one of my
See?
top 10 albums of all
Yeah,
time, brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to Tragedy.
For real,
he's
man.
right there.
Trash, we're gonna get you on this
Yes.
motherfucker.
And we can bring him up. Absolutely.
We're gonna put you on the show. Let's
Also, we gotta do just a Queens. Like
we should do every borough then at this point.
Excluding
Brooklyn.
Queensbridge, you mean?
No,
Right? So whoever made
Well,
this
because we
list,
already did
would they
Queensbridge, so we
also-
should exclude them.
Yeah, yeah.
In our section, in our
That's
section,
fair.
in
That's
our
fair.
thing.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
We do that. We do
Okay,
that.
Firm
so
up, firm up, one.
we'll come back.
Him and Cool G Rap, 1 and 2, done.
Oh, all right. So real quick, QB affiliates.
Ooh,
Nori.
AZ.
AZ?
But AZ's from Brooklyn, but he's
Yeah.
QB affiliate. He got
Yeah.
down with Mob, Nas, and shit. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
AZ? Who you got? Lakey the Kid.
Lakey
I don't
the
know
Kid.
why that
Oh,
name
you mean
stuck in
guys
my
from
head.
Queensbridge?
No.
Yo, what's
Affiliates. I don't know, because he
Well,
said
they're
Lakey
from
the Kid,
Queensbridge,
and that
though.
shit just stuck
Lakey
in
the
my
Kid's
head.
from Queensbridge.
No. Affiliates of Queensbridge niggas.
Shit, I
like
put
Nori.
I put Black Poet from Screwball, brother.
Okay,
Yo,
Poet.
he's been around for a
AZ?
minute too.
You got one at least?
Paul C. He started it all, the sound and everything.
Paul C.
Fucking
Yeah.
Paul C.
Yeah, look him up.
DJ or something?
Yeah.
Right,
He's
yeah, I know
He's
he's
a white boy?
He got killed.
He's a white boy?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Rest in peace to Hostile too from
Yeah.
Screwball, yo.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a fucking problem, bro.
Yeah.
So real quick, off the cuff, QB affiliates, Nori, AZ,
Well,
Paul C.
Nori's from Left Rack though.
and-
But if we're saying affiliates from
Affiliates,
Queensbridge,
yeah.
like that.
No, just that they affiliated with Queensbridge.
Shit, all right. Well, yeah, AZ's number 1 to me then, because
Yeah.
he's an affiliate.
I got one.
That's
My
fucking
bad.
easy.
I got a better one than all of them.
Who?
Noid.
Better than, ooh.
But Noid wasn't from Queensbridge?
Yeah, he
Yes.
is.
Oh,
He is, yeah. Noid.
Noid's
Fuck
a
that.
beast.
Yeah.
Bro, episodes of Hustler, man. That
Yeah,
Marshall
I love that
is
album, yo. That's
classical,
one of my favorite
bro.
joints. Yeah.
All right.
Now,
So
all
shout out
cool.
to that. Shout out to Queensbridge.
All day, man. My Mondays. Make sure y'all
Mount
tune in to my shit,
Rushmore,
man.
yes.
Noid, baby.
At
I
MaxLo,
did it for
hip-hop
y'all, for
trigger.
Queensbridge, because
Yes.
they have a big, what do you call?
A legacy, I would say.
No, like they have a lot to do with my upbringing, bro. Like all the music that came out of there, bro. Like they literally, like a lot of it raised me, bro. The influences shit, they like raised me. Them boot camp and shit. That's why I got shit for all of them. Woo. Love y'all, motherfuckers.
Queensbridge, yes.
Yeah,
Let's
100.
go. And we out.
Peace.